Hey guys, if you're watching this video, it means that you have already watched the video that is showing you the difference between beat and rhythm. So if you haven't watched the video about beat versus rhythm, please go back and watch that before you continue watching this video. I'm going to go ahead though and talk with you guys about time signatures, and hopefully that'll give you a better understanding of the function of bar lines and where to put those bar lines in your music. So I'm going to share my screen. So the purpose of time signatures and bar lines is just as a means of organizing the music. So vertical black bars called bar lines divide the staff into measures. So this is an example of a bar line. So you can see right now we've just split this staff into two measures. This is one measure, and here is the other measure. A time signature just defines the amount and type of notes that each measure contains. So we're going to talk about simple time signatures or simple meters, 4/4 and 3/4 for now, but you could also have 2/4. So we'll start with 4/4. The top number of the time signature tells you how many beats you will have in that measure. Okay, the top number tells you how many beats are in a measure, and the bottom number tells you what type of note is going to get the beat. So for these examples, the bottom number is 4. Now remember, in my note values chart, I shared with you that it takes 4 quarter notes to equal a whole note. So that's where this number comes from. The number 4 actually represents a quarter note. So this time signature here, 4/4, means that there are 4 beats in a measure, and the quarter note is what is receiving the beat. Another way that you might write this is you might see this written as a C, which just means common time, because 4/4 time is very, very common. We use that a lot, okay? So here is an example of what a measure of 4/4 time might look like. You see that we have 4 beats. We actually have 4 quarter notes. So this is probably the easiest measure to demonstrate 4/4 time. But you could have 8 eighth notes. You could have 2 half notes or 1 whole note in this measure, and it would work within the confines of 4/4 time. The next measure is 3/4 time. So the only difference is the top number. The bottom number has stayed the same from the previous measure, so the quarter note is still the note value that's receiving the beat or that continuous pulse, but now we only have 3 beats to work with. So notice that I only have 3 quarter notes in this measure as opposed to 4 quarter notes from the previous measure. But you could also put in 6/8 notes or a half note and a quarter note within this measure, and it would fit the framework of 3/4 time. This is a little bit more complicated, but I'll go ahead and explain it to you. You have other time signatures, things like 6/8 or 3/2. But it works the same. Remember that the top note, the top number tells you how many beats are in the measure, and the bottom number tells you what kind of note receives the beat. So in 6/8 time, the 6 is telling us we have 6 beats, but instead of the quarter note receiving the beat, it's the 8th note that's receiving the beat. So that's what the 8 represents. The 8th note is receiving the beat. So essentially there are 6/8 notes in this measure, but you could certainly divide it up however you wanted, as long as it fit within the confines of 6/8 time. All right, similarly with 3/2 time, the top number, the 3, is going to tell you that there are 3 beats in this measure, and the bottom number is telling you what kind of note is getting the beat. For this one, the bottom number is a 2, therefore it's the half note that's getting the beat. All right, so if the bottom number is a 4, remember that the quarter note is what's receiving the beat. With 6/8 time, the bottom number being an 8, the 8th note was what got the beat. Here, the bottom number is a 2, so the half note is receiving the beat. And there's 3 beats, so we've got 3 half notes in this measure. But you could, again, divide this up differently. You could certainly have 6 quarter notes, or you could have 2 quarter notes and 2 half notes, as long as it all equaled the same amount of beats. And this is just showing you how it's all divided up. So remember, 4/4 time or common time, we have 4 beats per measure. The quarter note is what is getting the beat. 3/4 time, we have 3 beats per measure. The quarter note is still getting the beat. 6/8 time, we have 6 beats per measure. The 8th note is now getting the beat. 3/2 time, the top number is telling us there are 3 beats per measure. The bottom number says that the half note is getting the beat. Okay, that's time signatures in a nutshell. I hope that that makes sense to you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.